Now, the fallout of the US killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani is already beginning to show. The latest being Iran's announcement that it will no longer aid by the nuclear deal or the joint comprehensive plan of action agreed upon back in the year 2015. US President Donald Trump has said that even if Iran moves away from the nuclear deal, a deterrent to its nuclear capabilities, it can never have nuclear weapons. Trump tweeted in big and bold letters, and I quote, "Iran will never have a nuclear weapon." But on the other hand, the White House has taken a different tone. White House advisor Kellyanne Conway said that President Trump could still renegotiate the nuclear deal with Iran. That is provided that Iran starts behaving like a normal country. Now let's have a closer look at what the nuclear deal was all about. For that, you will have to head back to the year 2015 when Iran agreed to a long-term deal on its nuclear program with the US, the UK, France, China, Russia and Germany. Under the accord, Iran agreed to limit its sensitive nuclear activities and allow international inspections in return for the lifting of crippling economic sanctions. Under the nuclear deal, Iran was allowed to enrich uranium only up to a concentration of 3.67% and stockpile no more than 300 kilos. Iran was not permitted to build additional heavy water reactors or accumulate any excess heavy water until 2031. Now, before the year 2015 nuclear deal, Iran had 19,000 centrifuges with the ability to convert low-enriched uranium into weapon-grade material in weeks. It now has just 3,000 to 4,000 centrifuges in operation. Iran also had two facilities, Natanz and Fordo, for uranium enrichment. It now has just one operation in Fordo. So what sort of an impact can Iran's decision to abandon the nuke deal have? For one, Iran can produce any kind of uranium fuel, including bomb-grade material. Iran will no longer stick to the prescribed limits for producing enriched uranium. There will be no limit to the extent that uranium could be enriched. The deal provided a high level of transparency about Iran's nuclear program, which now comes to an end. The nuclear deal meant to keep Iran at least a year from breakout, which is the time required to produce weapons-grade uranium. Now, international atomic energy experts say Iran can break out within 2 to 5 months. President Donald Trump withdrew the United States from the Iran nuclear deal in May 2018. He justified his unilateral action by saying the accord was flawed, in part because the main restrictions on Iran ended after 15 years. The leaders of Germany, France and Britain issued a joint statement on Sunday calling on Iran to abide by the terms of the nuclear deal and refrain from conducting or supporting further violent acts. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, French President Emmanuel Macron and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson specifically urged Iran to withdraw all measures not in line with the 2015 agreement. However, Iran's Foreign Minister Javad Zarif has assured the international community that it will still abide by the 2015 agreement. In a Twitter post, he says Iran's full cooperation with the inspectors of the International Atomic Energy Agency will continue. And so Editor-in-Chief of Iran Front Page, Abbas Aslani, brings you more on this story from Tehran. Let's get in some perspective from him.
The Iranian government's statement last night that Iran will not abide by the operational limitations of the 2015 nuclear deal means that Iran has not abandoned the nuclear deal, but Iran has reduced its commitments under the same deal and according to the paragraph 36. What does paragraph 36 say? It says that if one side stops or ceases its commitments in part or in whole, the other side also can stop its and suspend its commitments in part or in whole. So Iran has been using this part of the deal in order to decrease its nuclear commitments under the deal, and it doesn't mean that it has abandoned the deal. On the other hand, this decision doesn't mean that Iranian nuclear program will be moving toward a military or, let's say, toward making a bomb, because Iran has said that, yet it will continue to give access to the International Atomic Energy Agency it means that the nuclear program is going to continue to be transparent. And so far, Iran has taken 5 steps. And the purpose and the behind all these steps have been to make sure that the other parties to the nuclear deal, they return to their obligations and commitments under the deal. But so far, nothing has happened, and Iran has continued to do so. But it seems that this 5th step has been the final step in so-called, let's say, reducing the nuclear commitments and not exiting from the deal. So we have to be waiting to see that what the reaction from the other side is. And Tehran also didn't put a new 60-day deadline for the other side, but also said that it's ready to return its obligations and nuclear commitments, provided that the other side returns its obligations as well.